On today's episode of History in a Minute, the Cardiff Giant. Hey there everyone, Mr. Philip Campbell with Homeschool Connections History in a Minute. I am your bearded, nerdy history guru, and we are talking today about the Cardiff Giant, which is probably the most famous hoax in American history. The story of the Cardiff Giant began when a tobacconist named George Hull paid to have a giant block of gypsum carved into the likeness of a 10-foot tall giant man shipped from Iowa to New York State and buried in the farm of his cousin. Hull and his cousin waited a year and then had the giant accidentally discovered while they were digging up a well. Now, there was considerable local interest in this prodigy, and Hull's cousin charged people $0.25 per person to come see the giant. The hoax was quite elaborate. Hull had spent the modern equivalent of $50,000 creating the Cardiff Giant. Nevertheless, archaeological experts who came to see the giant pronounced it a fake almost unanimously, but that didn't stop people's curiosity. So many people were interested in the Cardiff Giant that famous exhibitionist P.T. Barnum tried to buy it. The owners refused to sell, however, and Barnum went ahead and created his own replica of the Cardiff Giant and started charging people to see that, claiming that his replica was the original, and the original was in fact the hoax. A news reporter commenting on Barnum's scheme famously said, "There's a sucker born every minute," in reference to the giant. Well, later that year, in 1869, Hull confessed that the whole thing was a hoax, and that was pretty much the end of it. However, the cool thing is the Cardiff Giant is still on display today. You can go see it in the Farmers Museum of Cooperstown, New York, and you can also see P.T. Barnum's replica, which is in a Museum of Oddities in Farmington Hills, Michigan. So you can still go see these things today. Did you like that sort of interesting little story? There's so many interesting historical stories. I hope you'll watch more episodes of History in a Minute, subscribe to this channel, and remember, history is not only interesting, but awesome.